Thanks for being here today. Always great to see you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back again.
So what are we talking about today? It's our 1-year anniversary. We have Demko Sensei back visiting. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on at your dojo the last year?
Well, it's been a decent year, much like your school, growing and a lot of enthusiasm. And in regards to that, I do see and follow you closely here, obviously, because I have a vested interest in you guys. And I've noticed on the social networking and what you guys are doing online and in-house, it's becoming very evident that I'm very impressed with the progress that you're making here, the quality of the instruction, and just the overall principles that you're following that are laid down for us to do in Aikido. So, my hats off to you. You guys are doing a great job. You're growing and flourishing in the right atmosphere.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, it's been a year now, almost to the date. We've had at least 12 new students join in the last 2 months. What do you think's happening? What's going on out there?
I think the enthusiasm of the group helps a lot. When they come in and they see the enthusiasm of the group, everybody welcomes them. It's just an atmosphere that they feel really good with. It's not like an atmosphere that we're teaching them how to do backstreet brawling. It's a different kind of culture. More affluent people, and they really get a lot out of seeing the people training together and working together and helping each other get better.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because when I think of our student base, I think of yours. I mean, tight-knit group. Your guys are driving all day today to train tonight, and they all get along. We see each other at camps and seminars, and it's pretty cool. But actually, because we talked on the phone about the next set of Udansha that you have, I want to touch on that for a second. You grade a lot of tests over many years. What are things that you like to see during a Shodan test, and what are things you don't like to see?
Well, primarily what I like to see is preparedness. People that, again, getting back to one of my main themes, is total commitment. As you know, I say that anything less than 100% commitment is no commitment at all. So it's very important when you come up for dawn testing that you absolutely be prepared. It's your responsibility as a student and as instructors to make sure that everybody has the tools to do the job. In other words, they're given the proper teaching and methods and spend the time doing it. Generally speaking, there are different levels of ability and so on, a lot of variables, and those are certainly taken into consideration. But there's no excuse not to be prepared to the best of your ability. You want preparedness, primarily an opening, clean movement. Always, I'm a stickler about being prepared and establishing your opening move, because if you do your opening move correctly, it's the primary move, everything then tends to fall in place. But if you mess up on the initial move, then you're playing catch up throughout the whole technique, and then your performance is compromised. So there's nothing that beats practice, practice, practice.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we drill people through tons of pre-tests and practice and the Kihon Waza and the Oya Waza. Over the years, you guys go back a long ways. How have you seen test prep evolve or change, and just in your experience?
Well, basically, I follow what my teacher's done. And he was known to try to test people before they got on Social Security. All right, so, the deal wasn't to see how fast you could promote somebody, but how good they could be before they were ready to be promoted. That was never my goal, was to get a black belt. That was never my goal. My goal was to be the very best practitioner that I could be. And someday I knew that I would ultimately get a higher rank, which, it just pays off. That permeates through Demko Sensei's teaching to me, my teaching to you, and your teaching to the students. And it shows, because every test that we go and perform in front of Yamada Sensei and the technical committee, I think they really shine. I think they really do a fantastic job.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it goes back to what you said about commitment and dedication. We have guys training 5, 6, 7 days a week. And I'll always remember this, because we were talking about this when you landed this morning. In 2004, I tested for Shodan, and it's kind of, everybody remembers when they got Shodan if they've been doing this long enough. And people ask me that don't train, what's it like? What is that feeling like? And I tell them it's like getting your driver's license. You've, practiced, you can perform, and now you've achieved a minimal level of experience, if you will. And I remember this because you congratulated all of us. There was like 3 or 4 of us that did Shodan, a couple Nidan, and 1 Sandan. 2004 in Cincinnati, and you said, congratulations to the Shodan. Shodan literally translates as senior or serious student, and you've now earned the right to train.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, many people that are not familiar with martial arts in general, and particularly Aikido, think that the black belt is the end-all be-all. Quite honestly, it's only the beginning. That's when you've learned how to practice. And that can take, in our system, 4 to 5 years of consistent practice. But you have to learn how to practice. And you have to be patient, you have to be committed, you have to follow the principles. And most of all, you have to have exposure. If you want to be the best, you got to train with the best. So the more exposure you can get by attending seminars that we have in the USAF, always trying to raise the bar for yourself and getting that experience. The black belt Shodan first level gets you prepared so that you can then go out and raise the level for yourself. Now, you can obviously attend seminars prior to that, certainly, but it's much more meaningful once you get that grade. You now are pretty much an official, committed student.
Awesome. And just to close out, if you were to just think of one word today in your experience many years later in Aikido, one word to describe Aikido in terms of how it makes you feel, just in your life, what would you say?
Makes me feel fantastic.
Fantastic?
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I would say complete. It's a completeness to your being. It puts you in tune with, I think, all that you should be and all that you will potentially become.
And I would end with composure. I just think it composes us throughout the day, at the end of the day, in the beginning of the day, and in life. So, thanks so much.
Good.